Hello, thank you for being with me today. As members of our International Council of Young Lasallians, you represent young Lasallians around the world, but even more importantly, you represent young people. And I've asked you to come here this morning to share with me some of your thoughts about the life of young people today. As you know, I will be participating in the Synod next month on young people, their faith, their vocational discernment. So I'm interested in hearing from you, who represent the 5 regions of our institute around the world, some of your thoughts about young people today, their reality, your challenges, and your hopes and your dreams. Anything that might help me reflect to the bishops during the Synod part of your experience. So if you don't mind, I'd like to start with, can some of you tell me what you see as the realities for young people today?
Maybe I'll start.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So, I've had the privilege of working with many young Lasallians, and it gives me a chance to accompany them. And with watching them grow, I've grown a lot as well on my end. But because we live in such a fast-moving society, it is difficult and it's really challenging for us to keep up with it. But the good thing is there are many people who actually don't like to follow trends.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are many, I think we can see from generations to generations, but this is the generation where I call it the mix-up, where
the mixed-up generation.
Yeah, I mean, they cannot really find themselves, but they are also trying to set a new trend.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I see it.
Okay. What would be an example of a trend?
I have met many young people who prefer to be in the 60s, to remain in the 60s.
Oh, really? Back in the 1960s?
Yes, yes.
My time as a young person.
And so they go with Polaroid cameras.
Really?
They go with really big spectacles. Just everything about them. If you think Bruno Mars, all the gold chains, and he's also setting a different trend. And so I think because of this fast-moving society, the young people are really trying to find their space. Find their place.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you.
Rather, it's interesting what Ed said, because I happened to read this article. It's called The Truth About Youth, from the McCann Truth Central. And it says that despite the fast-changing world of social media and communication, it's reassuring to know that there are 3 enduring human truths that remain today as they were before. So first would be the need of young people to find the self. It speaks about figuring out who they are. Second would be the need to find our people, our fellow young people. To my mind, it expresses that sense of the desire to have a sense of belonging, of being accepted, of being valued. And third would be the need of young people to find a place in the world, which speaks about passion, ideals, and establishing their own sense of personal justice. Though, when I was reading the article, it's interesting, though these things may not have changed, what I believe in and what I strongly support would be the change in how we accompany them. How we make more meaningful the accompaniment we give them. Listening to their voice, valuing their opinions, their ideas. Because I think that young people today have a very important voice in the church and in our society.
Thanks, Kim. Other thoughts?
You know, when brother mentioned about challenges, and this just came to my mind, the different challenges that the youth are facing today. And many of them, like secularism, religious fundamentalism, and of course fanatism, globalization, technology, And on the part of technology, you know, technology can be a blessing to us young people, but at the same time, technology is also a curse to us in the sense that, you know, technology has tremendously changed or even, let's say, amplified the struggles, the challenges of youth today. We spend so much of our time, you know, with our electronic devices to an extent that we get little involvement with activities with our peers and with sports and other things. And in addition to that, social media, and I'm speaking here about the bad use of it, is very common among young people. And Facebook, you know, Twitter, Instagram can cause a lot of harm to people, young people today. They are exposed, you know, to disgusting people, to unhealthy images, and to sexual content online. And this can lead to depression as a result of peer pressure.
You know, brother, I really agree with you. My perspective, peer pressure, and I would say also family pressure about academic results could be one of the biggest challenge of youth people today, because they just want to, you know, be part of the group. And trying to do this, sometimes they forget the truly themselves, like how they will be if they cannot, you know, take off of this group of people and express their self. And so I think that this is one of the things that we should help them more, give them a free space of a space where they can understand better who they are, what they want to do with their life. So give them a space for vocational discernment, I would say, and engage them in some activities that could help them in this process. And in my experience, service activities, do volunteer activities, is one of the best way to do this, because doing service, they will relate, they will engage with people that have really different background in their lives. And this this interaction will help them, you know, understand that their world, the world that they think they belong to, is so much different and so much bigger than they think.
Thank you. That idea about service, in the questionnaire that the Vatican invited young people to respond to, of which over 100,000 responded, one of the key points they raised was the value of service, of volunteering. That was a way for them to connect with others. That was a way they felt fulfilled, identity, and making a contribution. And as you all know, that's one of our gifts of our young people, our young Lasallians around the world, the volunteer experiences, the immersion experiences. So that's a good point you raised. Thanks. Oscar.
En nuestra experiencia como jóvenes hermanos, maestros, acompañantes, hemos logrado descubrir que nuestros jóvenes esperan sentirse desafiados, esperan que los escuchemos, que esperan que les ayudemos a conocer su propia voz y que nosotros distingamos la voz de cada uno de ellos. En ese ejercicio, ser parte activa en todo lo que nosotros planeamos, en todo en todas esas actividades que programamos, que los tenemos en cuenta, porque ellos también hacen parte de esa experiencia de cambio y mejoramiento social que nosotros buscamos. Desde ahí entendemos que nuestros jóvenes sueñan con un mundo un poco más coherente y más tranquilo, más pacífico, en el que vivir no sea una calamidad, no sea una crisis, no sea un problema, donde puedan buscar su propia identidad y esta sea una aventura formidable, que sea una experiencia bonita y no una crisis de tiempo. Cuando nosotros los adultos decimos, no, es que son jóvenes, ya se les pasará, para ellos es molesto. Es decir, o sea, no somos tan relevantes, nuestros problemas no son tan importantes. Yo no sé, Sara, tú qué piensas, pero yo creo que nuestros jóvenes sí sueñan y quieren un mundo más optimista.
Yes, brother, I agree. I feel that our world today, the biggest hope that we can bring to our young people is to just be with them and to journey with them and to be a companion and a guide to them on the journey. And truly allowing them a space where they can feel welcomed, included, that they're heard and loved. I think setting aside some of the challenges that we face, you know, it's good to bring them with us, right? And to acknowledge them and the realities that we face, but how can we truly support young people? And how can young people in turn know that they can give back, that they can contribute to the world in a really meaningful and positive way? It's just such a hope and dream for us that we can continue to have our voices heard and feel respected in that process.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Is there anything else you'd like to say or offer as advice to me going forward? Oscar.
En América Latina
Sí.
Estamos ahorita con esta cuestión de la identidad religiosa, ¿no? ¿En qué creen nuestros jóvenes? Es una pregunta que desde la red de catequesis y evangelización nos hemos preguntado bastante. ¿Cómo alimentamos la fe de nuestros jóvenes? Ha sido complejo porque nuestros chicos están en búsqueda. Digamos que la experiencia de la iglesia, la experiencia de la vida religiosa no es suficiente porque a veces no es coherente. Y eso destruye un poco lo que pensamos de nuestra fe, lo que vivimos. Entonces, el buscar una manera de afianzar la fe de nuestros chicos es un desafío para ellos y para nosotros. Creo que en la medida en que les brindamos estas oportunidades, en que realmente creamos comunidades de servicio, de encuentro, esa experiencia del pobre y el más necesitado les va a permitir encontrar identidad frente a la experiencia de Dios. En que creo, esto en lo que estoy, esto para lo que sirvo me permite construir esa fe. Yo como hermano joven he aprendido a ir en ese camino y a veces me preguntan, de hecho la semana pasada alguien me preguntó, hermano, ¿usted sí es católico? Porque yo tengo una fe muy fuerte, pero creo que mi fe está en construcción también, se renueva constantemente, y con los jóvenes pasa lo mismo, más porque lo que decía Baku hace un rato, el mundo cambia rápidamente y les presenta muchas alternativas a los jóvenes. La fe antes era muy fuerte y era una experiencia muy fuerte y valiosa, pero hoy en día la fe está en una lucha constante. Esta experiencia de servicio que nosotros les brindamos es una oportunidad para que los jóvenes empiecen a resignificar la fe y también le planteen el desafío a la iglesia, lo que la iglesia necesita mostrar a la sociedad y lo que la iglesia también necesita transformarse.
Gracias, Oscar. I have one final question, if I may. Often we hear young people saying that they are not religious, but they're spiritual. When you hear that term, what does it mean to you, or how would you help me and the older generation understand what young people are trying to express when they say they are not religious, but they're spiritual?
I think that there is a big problem of communication between the church and the young people today. So they feel the need, you know, to have a faith, but they cannot recognize it because the language of the churches today, maybe it's not so hard for them if they just try more. But I think it's really a big challenge because they see the church as something that belongs to their grandparents. So it's something so far from them. And this is the reason why I think, and I can speak for my country, you know, my personal perspective, we really, like young people today, really feel is so difficult. Like we don't belong. But it's not like this. If we allow ourselves to be, you know, more open and we try, you know, to understand more, I think that there is a connection.
Okay.
But so there is a spirituality because there is a need, but we didn't identify it as a faith
Mhm.
just because it's, different.
Okay, well, thank you, Eleonora. Certainly from my perspective, meeting and being with you over the years and our other young people, there is a depth of spirituality. And that's why it's so important that we, as you were saying, accompany our young people, our students, and each other. Because the faith is within that spirituality. And we need to bring it forth in a way that young people can relate. And I agree, the language is a challenge for us. But I'm confident that there is much spirituality in our young people around the world today. And I'm also grateful for what you do in your own roles, in your own ministries, and all of our young Lasallians, brothers and lay women and laymen, because you are the face of God that the young people see. If they're not going to church, the only way they're going to be connected to the faith is how you communicate it to them. So I'm grateful for what you do every day around the world, bringing Jesus and the love of Jesus to our children and young people in all of our ministries in the 80 countries around the world. So thank you very much, and thank you for this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grazie.